of buying a dog for the first time and all the problems that come into your mind. How much is it going to cost? How much is it going to cost to feed it? Is it the right dog for me? Is it going to create problems with the neighbours? Well, I have bought a newspaper to look at the dogs for sale column because the Kearney family in Clondalkin are hoping to choose and perhaps buy their first family dog. And I am going to help them. Well, now, young Gerard is the dog fanatic in the family, is that right?
Well, he won't pass a dog. Pass a dog in the road, you know, he sits down petting it, and I don't like him playing with strange dogs. You know, you don't know what they may have. Then if a dog follows us anywhere, he says, oh, no one owns it, we'll take it home, we take it home. In the last few months, like, it's increased. He does want it, and why can't he have it? And I'm running out of excuses now, you know. Like, I put him off for years, but as I said, I'm running out of excuses. I keep saying, when you're older, Jared, you can mind it, you look after it. And he says, well, now I'm old enough, why can't I have one? And then, like, he starts crying, and that kind of, you know, tugs at the heartstrings, and you say, ah, well, you know, maybe I should get him one.
Well, a pet for your children is a very good idea. Indeed, a pet for any children is a very good idea. And in your situation, a dog would seem to be an ideal type of pet for them, provided we can choose the right dog. You probably are limited insofar as big dogs would get out onto the footpath and interfere with the neighbours and that. So can you tell me just how much space is available, or what space can you make available for the dog?
Well, the only space is the back garden, which is about 20 yards square, thereabouts.
A standard back garden,
yeah,
with a fairly high wall around it.
Yeah, it's about 5 foot high, all wall round.
But a big dog would be able to climb over that wall. So what we don't want is to have a dog that's going to create problems with the neighbours in going over the garden wall. So big dogs like German Shepherds or Rottweilers or Labradors, I'm afraid would be unsuitable for you. So what we're looking for is a slightly smaller type of dog that will fit in here and won't create problems. Now, there are little costings that you're going to come up against, which you're going to have to consider. You're going to have to consider such things as the cost of vaccination. And it's going to cost approximately £20, maybe a little bit more, to get the initial vaccination course. And then you're going to require an annual vaccination of approximately £15 a year, an annual vaccination booster. So these are the kind of costings which are going to occur. You have some idea of how much you want to spend on your puppy?
Well, I suppose to get any dog, you're talking, say, from £20 upwards.
Well, you are. Certainly if you're going to go for some of the more exotic breeds of dogs, the bigger dogs, you're going to pay a lot more, the more rarer breeds. And most of the pedigree dogs are going to start over £100 for a puppy. And indeed, if you get up to the very large breeds, which are not so many of them, I'm talking about things like Great Danes, St. Bernards and what have you, dogs like that, then you'll be talking about many hundreds of pounds per dog, for a young puppy. So it can be an expense, so you obviously don't want to lay out that kind of money.
No, not. What would an ordinary, we'll say, a little terrier sized dog cost?
Well, we can have a look through the small ads in the paper and see what's in it, and perhaps we can decide which one is suitable. Now, there are 2 or 3 different types here which would seem to fit the bill for you here. First of all, there's the little Jack Russell Terrier. You're well familiar with the little Jack Russell Terrier, the little small lad about this height. He's brown and white and black, but they're very sharp little lads, most of them, and generally chew up cats and postmen and have the courage of lions, but they're marvellous little dogs. The next ones would be little Yorkshire Terriers, which are smaller, lovely little house dog. Maybe not up to the robust living with your lads, because your lads would require something that is robust. Now, when you're looking for your dog, what you want to do is see, is the dog bright and alert? Is he bouncy? That's the first thing, because if he looks dull and depressed and hanging around, he's not well. He's sick. And there's no sense in bringing home a sick dog. That's the first thing. The next thing you want to do and see, how does he interact with the rest of the litter? I mean, is he, you know, bouncy around and, you know, generally full of go? have a look at the mother, and if you possibly can have a look at the father as well, because that'll give you an idea what they're going to turn out like. And once you've got that kind of picture into your mind, you have an idea where you're going.
Is a cold nose a sign that the dog is healthy?
Well, if you see a nice big moist nose on them, they usually are the kind of grand little healthy look about them. But it's not alone the nose which is important. Certainly with distemper and a lot of these other conditions, the nose does dry up, and if they get feverish and that, it dries up. But you want to look at the whole general disposition of the dog, not just look at one little thing like its nose. You want to look at feel the skin, and you'll feel a nice healthy feel from it. And look at how he's active and wagging his tail and generally moving around. Is there any ones in particular that you're particularly interested in?
Well, there is two there that stick out. There's the Yorkshire Terrier pups.
Yes.
And there's the bottom one. It doesn't give what type of dog it is.
It says 3 beautifully formed pups for sale, 2 male, 1 female, mother and father, family pets, ideal temperament for children. Well, now, they might fill the bill quite beautifully for you.
Yeah.
So perhaps we could have a look at those and see what the situation is.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
that'd
that
be
be a
fine.
good idea?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Hello. How are you?
Someone now. He's
Here he goes. Can you catch him there? You can. Yeah. Just give him a gentle rubbing. Good lad. Good lad.
Here, right? That might encourage him.
Yes, we'll move down. Good fella.
What type of a dog is he?
He's basically a Labrador type cross. His father was a rough-haired collie type, and the mother is very similar to him with a lot of Labrador in him. The mother is very, very good with children, and he's showing all of the traits that she has had as she was growing up. He was, from the word go, the brightest of the bunch, first to walk, first to be weaned, and he was the leader of the bunch of them to a great degree. The most intelligent of all. He was named by my wife as Brains, which seemed to be typical of his character. And he'll grow to about 35 to 40 pound weight of a dog. He'll be roughly about 18 inches high to the shoulders, about 23, 24 to the head. And he'll need a reasonable amount of exercise as he grows older. And that would be an important point also.
He will need a bit of space.
He would need a bit of space, yeah.
What would be the cost of that dog?
Basically what I'm only asking is a £5 for him, primarily to cover what he's eaten so far.
Yeah.
I have a simple logic: if somebody's prepared to pay a few pounds for a dog, then they're prepared to look after it.
True.
Come on. Look what I have. Up. Look what I have. Jump.
There you are now. we've left John and Jared outside playing with a little dog, and a fine little dog it is, a grand, healthy little dog. But there's a problem, and that is that I think this dog is going to grow too big for you, because this is a Labrador cross, and he's going to grow so big that he will jump over the wall, and he will get into the neighbours' gardens, and he will create problems. And I don't think your lads are big enough to be able to handle it. So, thinking about it now, I honestly think that this is not the dog for you. But you're really going to have to make the decision about it.
No, I think it'd be better now to say no rather than take it. And then maybe when it does grow too big in a year or so, to have to get rid of it. They would be more attached to it then, wouldn't they?
And who's going to have the job of telling Jared and John?
We both tell them. We both speak to them.
I'd say once we explain to them, they'll understand. We can wait for another little while.
I mean, we'll still look out for another little dog for them.